Hi y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I'm really glad to have y'all join me today, and I'm grateful for my regular subscribers, and I'm grateful for my new subscribers. And if you wouldn't mind today giving me a like and share me on all your social media outlets, and also I welcome any and all comments, and you can email me at mammymurray16@gmail.com, or you can message me through Mammy Murray's Musings over on Facebook, or even just, post on my page there or whatever. Okay, so today, hold on just 1 minute, let me get this. I am going to be making a coffee cake. I don't know about you, but when the weather really starts heating up, y'all see my new fridge behind me? Remember I told you my other one went out? So I didn't need anything as big as I had, so I went smaller. But anyway, and let me tell you, this was a blessing. God provided this for me. It was only a couple of years old, and I got it used and at a really discounted price of what a new one would have cost. It was just a small fraction of the cost. So God is good, isn't he? All right, so I have this friend, her name is Darlene, and she was telling me about this coffee. My one cord, it kind of fell, so it's kind of under my feet here, so I'm kind of moving it out of the way. Anyway, she was telling me about this coffee she had somewhere. Now, I'm not really a coffee drinker, but right after she told me, I was at the commissary in Little Rock, or close to Little Rock, when I was visiting my son, and I found this coffee, and it was on clearance, so I bought some. And they had in the bag, and they had the little pods, and I bought some of each because, my children come to visit, they like coffee, and then I got some and gave it to my friend too. But it was toasted Southern Pecan. All right, now I'm not promoting this brand name or anything. I don't know if I can cover it up, but anyway, but they were like different brands actually what I bought, but it was called Toasted Southern Pecan Coffee. So she was telling me about having this pecan coffee and just how really good it was. And so when I tried it, I thought, man, that is good. And then my mind, the wheels in there started turning. And I thought, well, I wonder if I could make a coffee cake with that. So I am experimenting today. And so I looked up different coffee cake recipes, and I just kind of put some together, and I've come up with my own recipe, and we will see if it will be a flop or if it will be it will be good. We're going to see if it'll be fantastic or a flop. So you are going along for the ride with me today. So let's go ahead and we'll get started. I went ahead and took a bundt pan, and I sprayed the Baker's Joy stuff in it. To me, I just like doing that a lot better than putting the oil or the grease and the flour and moving that all around. The Baker's Joy is just so much simpler. Let me see. Oh, I know what I was saying a while ago. I was talking about my bare feet. I had a viewer the other day ask a question. It was a good question. It was, what's with the bare feet? And let me tell you, I go barefoot all the time. And not in the winter as much, because my floors do get kind of cold and my feet can't take it. When I was younger, I would even go outside in the winter barefoot. So I do go barefoot all the time in the summer. I do have to be careful on the rocks we have out here. Where I grew up growing up, though, we didn't have rocks, Down in Tennessee and Mississippi, the eastern part did, but I was more in the, I guess that was kind of the west. I'm not sure. Around Memphis, anyway. But let's go ahead and we'll get started with this. I'm sure you've heard enough of me babbling. So let me bring you down so you can see what I'm doing. Let me get you a little closer. That light wants to get in the way there. Trying to get you down into the mixer there. All right. Maybe you can see that. Let me try something here. Try lowering the tripod a little. Well, there. Maybe that will work. I'm sorry, I'm putting my hands right in front of your face. All right, that should work now. Okay, in here I have 2 cups of flour. And I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar. I'm just dumping everything in, and then I'm going to mix it. Actually, I think I will just mix this a little bit first. Well, I guess if I plug it in, it would work, wouldn't it? What's that saying? You have to be 10% smarter than what you're working with, or 90%, I forget. Let me get something to break up that sugar clump that's there. Something to get the sour cream out too. All right. That's my oven coming up temperature, and I put it at 350. All right. I am not really as prepared today as normal, am I? Now I need my vanilla. I have to find that. That's rum. I don't want rum flavoring. Oh, I have to bring this whole thing down. Whoops, some things are flying out at me. I may be about out of vanilla flavoring, so this is all going to have to do today what I have. All right. Sorry, y'all. So the next, that's cup sugar, and I'm in a cup and a half. So there's a cup and a half of sugar. So that was 2 cups of flour and 1.5 cups of sugar. Next, we are going to add in 1 stick of softened room temperature butter. And remember what I've said before, save your butter wrappers and put them in the refrigerator. And then when you need to grease a pan, you will have it. All right. And to that, we are going to add 1/2 cup of sour cream. I wonder if this is, let me close that a little bit. That might be better. So 1/2 cup of sour cream. I think there was a glare coming from the window. And get it all out. Groceries cost too much to waste. Get it all out there. All right, now I have a cup of that coffee. This is just a tad over room temperature, but it would probably be better just to have it at room temperature. Or even, no, I wouldn't go with cold. I'd do it room temperature. Okay, so that's a cup of the toasted pecan coffee. And there are different brands. That brand name, it was, I think you saw that, it was Cameron, but there are different brands. Then I am going to put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Look at there, that was enough. I've got just a little bit more left in that bottle. And I need some eggs. And we're going to put in 2 eggs. Now you could have creamed your butter and sugar and all that together, but that's not how I'm going to do this. I'm just doing this about like I would do my banana bread. I just usually just dump everything in and then I mix it. Okay, now to mix it. Go away. Still have a few gnats that I'm hoping will be gone away soon. just enough to get it mixed well. Okay, that should be good. Of course, you see that butter kind of chopped up in there, and it will melt throughout when it's cooking. Let me run that and these other cups over to my dishwater, I mean. All right, I always keep dishwater made up when I'm cooking, or 9%. I won't say always, because sometimes I'm just in a rush and I don't make it up beforehand. But that way we can put the dishes in as we get finished. All right. We're going to put that pan there and pour this in here. Then I am going to put this at like I said, it's at 350. I am going to start out with 30 minutes, and then I will go from there. Let's see if I need to adjust. Well, actually, I am going to start with about 25 minutes. I think most cakes are 20-25 minutes. Now, I can already tell that this is going to be a moist cake. And if it's too crumbly, then I'll know next time to use about a half a cup of coffee. But hey, like I told you, this is going to be one of those trial and error dishes until I get it right. But of course, they'll still eat it if it doesn't come out in a good form. The flavors will still be good. All right. Pop it a couple of times here to get the air bubbles out. All right, so it's going in the oven. So I'll bring y'all back later when it's finished. All right, something I forgot to put in it. As soon as I popped it in the oven, I remembered, so I had to take it right back out. But I wanted to put in about a cup of pecans, so I am just going to kind of swirl them in there. About half of this bag. All right, you can get a spatula and kind of leave those in there, or push them down in there or something, without disturbing the sides or the bottom. Have you ever done this? You forgot to maybe add nuts or something, you have to go back and kind of put it in there? I've done it a few times. I'll even look exactly at that recipe, and I'll still, even though this one I wrote down what I thought I would want on a piece of paper, and I still forgot. Didn't look at it good enough. All right, I think I got those in there. Now back in the oven she goes. Then I want to talk to you a minute, something I forgot to tell you. Okay, let me turn you up here. I wanted to let you know too, and I do not remember exactly what the right ingredients would be, but I did notice some of the coffee cakes, and that's not something I really make a lot, but some of them had, you could put a brown sugar topping on them. And that was just mixing some brown sugar and a little bit of butter and a little bit of flour. Mix it kind of up, you know, until it's kind of crumbly. And then sprinkle it on top. Then put of the coffee cake, and then put it in the oven. So that's something else you could do to this too. And before I come back when this is finished, I'll try to look that up and tell you about what the measurements on that would be. If that's something you would want to do, I would probably just get like a spoonful of flour and a little, you know, probably about the same amount, probably a little bit more brown sugar. I'd say 3 or 4 times as much maybe. And then I would probably get probably about the same amount of flour as I would in butter, you know, softened butter, and just mix it up. And then, of crumble it up and sprinkle it on the top in case I forget to look it up and come back and tell you, but I'll try my best to remember. All right, I'll see you back in a little bit. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and look at it. When I went to flip it, my cake, my plate slipped, so it was half on, half off cake, so it did kind of split just in the middle, but those things happen. I should have just went ahead with my, what do you call that, the cake taker or whatever, and put it on there instead of just regular plate, because it would have been bigger, but that's okay. No one's going to eat it but me, and I'll take a slice to my friend, and then anyone else who happens to drop by. I have to taste it before I decide if I'd want to add more flour. It's kind of more like came out like a sponge cake. Oh, it's really hot right now though. Probably should let it sit a little bit longer before I cut into it. It is crumbly, so I think next time I'll wait till it cools off and then I'll decide for sure. But next time I think maybe I will add about a half a cup more flour. I think is what I would do. I would go with 2.5 cups of flour, or just half cup coffee. Probably just half cup coffee. But it does taste good. It has good flavors. I'm gonna bring you up here so you can see me eating. But yeah. Flavors are very, very good. And it's good. It's really good. All right, y'all. Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me go get those things about the topping. Okay, so for the topping, if you want to, well, it would actually be on the bottom of it instead of the top. Or you could actually put it in the button pan and then pour the batter on top. That's what I would do. I'd put the topping in the button pan, sprinkle it around the button pan, then I would put the batter on top. But it would be about, I mix together about a half a cup of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, and 2 tablespoons of softened butter. And you could even use a little bit of cinnamon or nutmeg or anything like that if you wanted to. But to go over what I had in this, and like I said, I would decrease the coffee, but 2 cups of flour, 1.5 cups of sugar, 1 stick of butter softened, a half a cup of sour cream. I put 1 cup of coffee, but remember I would probably decrease it a half a cup, or use 2.5 cups of flour, and that's self-rising flour instead of the 2 cups. So either use 2.5 cups of self-rising flour and 1 cup of coffee, or go with 2 cups. Let me say this again. Either go with 2.5 cups of self-rising flour and 1 cup of coffee, or just go with 2 cups of self-rising flour and a half a cup of coffee. Okay, got that straight? If you don't have it straight, you can just, ask me, what did you say to do again here? And then a cup of pecans. And then put it in a pan, bake at 350, and this cooked in my oven. It cooked 32 minutes. All right, so, and then that streusel topping again, and like I said, I would put that in the button pan, then put the batter in. That was a half a cup of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, and 2 tablespoons of butter mixed together. All right, well, y'all remember to always season your cooking with love, and I hope to see y'all again soon. Bye-bye. God bless y'all.